Hello YouTube, hello Internet, IREX Guy here. I wanted to take a moment to talk some more about penny stocks. You may or may not have already watched my How to Play Penny Stocks video. It's a PowerPoint presentation, quite lengthy with a lot of content. If you haven't, feel free to check that out too after this. I've included a link below. Also have a playlist on my YouTube channel with a lot of other stock videos. Anyway, what I'd like to talk about in this video is the psychology associated with penny stock trading. A lot of people may look at stocks, not just necessarily penny stocks, but big board stocks as well. Big boards being American Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange. The big boards, the tickers that you see on popular news networks like CNBC, Bloomberg, etc. Those are the big board stocks. Those are the stocks that are typically trading well above $1 a share, and they have a lot of interest associated with them, not just from recreational and speculative investors, but also long-term investors, people that are adding those to funds and issuing to customers for their retirement, etc. But what we're talking about here are penny stocks. Penny stocks are the sketchiest of the sketchy stock out there. And the reason I say sketchy is that the amount of risk associated with a penny stock versus a big board stock is extreme. And I don't have anything to back this percentage, but I would go as far as to say at least 80% or so of penny stocks are scams. If they're not obviously a scam, there's a scam likely underneath the surface somewhere or another. Now, is it still going to pop really hard? Large percentage increase? Possibly so. Will people be able to sell and profit during that big run up? Possibly so. Will people lose every penny that they put into it? Quite possibly so. So I mean, there are some big gains to be had from penny stocks. Gains that in the big board world would be seldom heard of. Penny stocks, it's not uncommon to see a stock run from a sub-penny range. And keep in mind, the lowest price that a penny stock can be issued at is .0001. So that's 0001. That's a fraction of a penny. So when you're dealing with a penny stock, it's 0001. You can often buy it at 0001, but you can often not sell it because there's no bid. And you can check out my other videos, but there's the bid side of the fence, which is what one would expect to receive if they attempted to sell stock that they already owned. And then there's the ask side of the fence, which is what one would expect to pay if they tried to purchase a stock that they do not currently own, or maybe they're adding more to the position that they already have. But a lot of times with 000, I personally like 000 plays, and back to the psychology element of it, it's kind of a game, and this is how one should probably condition themselves before they get involved with this. And I mean, it's up to an individual how much or how little they want to risk with this. None of my comments, none of my videos should be considered a recommendation to buy or sell a security. I do this for entertainment purposes only, and I'm sharing this because it's knowledge that I've learned along the way. I mean, I'm by no means an expert. I traded big board stocks. About 20 years or so I've traded big boards and penny stocks just the past few years. So a lot of the experience I obtained from trading the big boards, I was able to apply to the pennies, to learning how to play the pennies. But then a lot of the knowledge that I learned about the pennies has enabled me to better understand the inner workings of the big boards. A lot of factors that move a stock, like press releases. You can have a significant upcoming event, even though it may not be in a formal press release. You know, there may be a third party that's a reputable source that says, you know, vendor XYZ will be attending our trade show on X date. And typically that's a pretty good sign that a big material event might be about to occur. Now, should one consider loading up on a penny stock for a reason like that, even though it seems like, you know, this stock's going to explode in a few weeks because they're going to be at this big trade show and they're going to have all these new products? No. And the reason being is that there's a lot of things that can happen. You know, the attendee may not show up. The attendee may show up and they may not even have their products. They may have sample products, but they may not have enough products in production to fulfill the order. So if people come to that show and want to purchase this awesome new toy, well, they put in an order and it's on back order. And and it's because their manufacturing in China or wherever is not able to not able to produce the amount of products that that the customers are requesting. So what's inevitably likely going to happen there is that people are going to cancel their order, and they're probably never going to look at the company again, because when a company releases a new product, a consumer expects to get it immediately. They want instant gratification. If they don't get that, they're going to be turned off and they're going to take their business elsewhere. So I mean, there's a lot of things here, but the biggest thing about penny stocks, and this is what I had to do. I mean, you can look at stocks, oh, it's just a bunch of numbers and this, that, and the other. Why is that fun? And oh, the first penny stock I bought, I put $100 into it, and I lost every bit of that $100 in a week because of a reverse split, and I never want to touch them again. That's likely the wrong attitude. The attitude that a penny stock trader should possess is that, okay, I've got X amount of disposable income. This is money that I would take, and I'd go to a restaurant and I might buy dessert, or I'd go to a bar and I'd buy the more expensive beer, or maybe I'd go out an extra night during the week just to have fun. Do an evaluation of all the disposable income that you have, and just tell yourself, well, would I want to blow that on something that will provide a quick amount of entertainment value and then it's gone, or would I want to place that into something that potentially, but not probably, more than likely won't, but potentially could go through the roof? I mean, there's stocks that are in the 000 range that run as high as 50 cents or so. So someone that bought 1 million shares at 0001, that's about $100 before commission. Online brokerage charges usually around $7 to $10 for commission, depending upon which brokerage you use. But that's a huge gain. Taking taking 1 million shares and selling them at 50 cents. That's turned that $100 investment before commission into $500,000 before commission. So you're probably looking at just a few dollars less than $500,000, and you got to take your taxes out. But I mean, the possibility's there. Is it going to happen for everyone? No. Is it going to happen to every stock? No. But is it going to happen? I mean, is there a possibility that'll happen? Yeah. Throw that money out on a drink in the bar. Throw that money out on a dessert. Throw it out on a useless video game that costs $60. Heck, $60 for a video game, that would buy, of a 0001 stock, that'd buy around 600,000 shares. You never know. So this is the mentality that one should possess if they are pondering getting in, playing penny stocks. And then in addition to that, there's an entertainment element to this. And the entertainment element is, and it's a cheap form of entertainment, but it's kind of like being a detective. So, you want to take some time and read some, do some Google searches and things you can do with a penny stock. You can Google search for claims that have been made, maybe official claims by the company, maybe unofficial claims that others have shared by way of forums or whatever, and do your own due diligence and research that. Even the things that seem cut and dry, it's 100% valid. Research those first, because more than likely the penny stocks, one of the most sneaky methods that a lot of these companies use is that they'll take the news that most people would not even take a moment to question, and they'll make it sound, oh, it's so valid, and there's no way anybody would even second guess this claim. Well, there might be a little blurb in there that makes all of the information invalid, and that happens quite a bit. A lot of times with these companies, it's the news that they feel nobody would take the time to research that contains the holes, and then the less valuable news that they know everybody's going to research it. They may allow a lot of things to pop out in that are warning signs. But that's one thing to consider there. And I mean, also, throughout this process, doing Google searches, doesn't have to be Google, it can be Bing, or I use Google, but whatever it may be, just to do the background checks. Find out who their investor relations firm is. Do a background check for that firm. Are they reputable? If not, what types of less than desirable activities have they been involved with previous companies, or maybe companies that they're also representing right now? go attack it from that angle. And then also, if you're dealing with products or services, company that penny stock company that's selling products or services, see if you can get your hands on those. If you don't want to purchase the products yourself, see if maybe there's a place locally or somewhere where a friend could go and check it out and put that, get that tangible product in your, in your hands and check it out. Is it worth anything, or is it just the next gimmicky thing that's going to be a big flop? And it brings up another good point. If you're dealing with products or services, how easily accessible are these products and or services for purchase? If they're not too accessible, well, more than likely they're not going to sell a lot. And if they are accessible, the next thing is well, do they plan on adding, if it's being sold through retail stores, which stores they have now? Do they plan to add more stores? That sort of thing. If it's services, well, how are they communicating to people that the services are available for purchase? Because it doesn't matter, even if it was someone from Back to the Future. Remember that movie with the hoverboard and all that? There was someone today, or someone 5 years ago, that's been selling a hoverboard, but none of us knew that it existed. That does us no good as an investor, because somebody can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, they're not generating revenue. And if they're not generating revenue, us shareholders are not going to benefit at all. So, I mean, that's another thing to take into consideration. Penny stocks can be a lot of fun. I could ramble on and on about this, but like I said, I've got that video on my YouTube channel also, the How to Play Penny Stocks. It's got a little blue screen, it's a PowerPoint presentation. I think in there I've nailed a lot of the technical aspects of penny stocks, but I just wanted to focus on all of the other elements and how to become motivated and just what I've said now. I mean, this may not even be, penny stocks may not even be something you'd like to waste your time with. But I can guarantee, well, I can't guarantee anything, but more than likely, if someone becomes involved with penny stocks, once they hit that first big runner, a stock that runs up really high, a huge percentage gain, then more than likely that person will probably play penny stocks a little bit more. And that brings up another great point, is reinvesting. So say that you sink, let's just use random numbers here, $100 into the stock. And then let's say you sell that, so it's a $100 initial investment, and then you sell it for, let's just say $13,000. Well, now you got $13,000 to play with. So that, in essence, you got to factor in taxes and all of that. But that, in essence, that $13,000 originated from that $100 initial investment. So now one is presented with the opportunity. Well, can I take the profits from this? Should I put it all in one? More than likely, and this philosophy applies to any sort of investment, but putting all the eggs in one basket, as people might say, is likely not a good idea. But what it does mean is that someone that in the past may have only been willing to gamble in penny stocks, maybe only been able to gamble, only willing to gamble rather, $100 per company. Now they've had this large profit from one of those $100 plays. Now maybe on one stock they'll gamble $500, $600, and maybe on another they'll gamble $1,000. Maybe they'll gamble $100 on 10 or 12 companies. So with penny stocks, probability is a big thing. So the more stocks that one's involved with, well, the more likely they are to have in their possession shares when a penny stock runs really hard and goes up in price per share. But also, the more likely they are to lose the money. But what are they losing? They had $100 initially, and then they made this $13,000 or so, and they took their taxes out and all that, and now they got this play money, this free play money that never existed until they had the big runners. So that's an and I hate to call this an investment strategy, because there's nothing, in my opinion, that should be considered an investment when it pertains to a penny stock. But I will say this is my penny stock, my highly speculative penny stock gambling strategy, and that's the way I like to play it. So I've won but I've lost more times than I've won. But I mean, that's about it. Now, I do have a lot of other videos, and I already mentioned the how to play penny stocks video. I encourage everyone that might be interested in penny stocks to watch that. But I've also got a playlist on YouTube, and I'll continue to add videos to it. And it's just stock-related conversation. Feel free to check that out. And also, if you might be interested in precious metals, and again, none of this should be considered a recommendation to buy or sell a security, or a precious metal for that matter. But I've got some precious metals videos, and it's a completely different ballgame than penny stocks, but there's a lot of fun associated with that. And I won't go into that. I've got other videos on precious metals, but feel free to check it out for yourself. And thanks for tuning in. I welcome your feedback. And if there's anything that you have, maybe a question. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but if there's any question that you might have regarding penny stocks or precious metals or coins or whatever it might be, feel free to send me a message on YouTube, and I'll see if I can do a video response. And thanks for tuning in, and have a good one.